Hello, and you are listening to FPcast, the podcast for Fruitless pursuits where we bullshit about the week in pop culture. I am Luke.
And I'm Jacinta.
And this week we are talking about...
movies, television, collectibles, video games, comics, books, board games, and more.
Bangs!
Hungies, 2 of them.
2 hungies! Can you believe it? Now, we've sorted out this little accounting error that happened in the past, and we can say with great pleasure, with great sense of celebration, that today is actually our 200th episode. Can you believe that?
Whoop, whoop. No, I can't, actually.
200 of these.
I can't believe it.
Why are we doing it?
I don't know.
Where's our cake? Where's our parade?
I don't know. Maybe there was going to be a cake and a parade, but the weather's not very nice today, so maybe it got cancelled.
It would be a sad parade.
Yeah.
A podcaster's parade.
Oh, God. Podcasters anything is a bit sad, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, on that note, we're shutting down the show. Goodbye.
We've realised the futility of our actions, and we're going to call it a day at 200.
Yeah, 200's a nice place to leave it. No, we're going to go on because we love what we do. We love pop culture. We love movies. We love talking about movies. In fact, to prove that, so you know, those just aren't empty words. We just went and saw a movie.
We did.
We saw Logan Lucky, which very quick for a sequel to Logan to come out in the same year.
Yeah.
And Hugh Jackman, of course, hung up his claws at the end of the last one, and Channing Tatum snuck in and picked them up. So maybe that's why he's been hesitating on Gambit.
Yeah, I think Channing Tatum ate Hugh Jackman, didn't he?
I don't think he could do big Gambit in his Logan Lucky shape.
No, I actually really enjoyed seeing little chubby Tatum, because I know that he's having a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you watch those movies when those dudes are all super ripped and everything, you know they're miserable. And I don't like that. I don't like looking at, Chris Evans or Hugh Jackman or someone going, you are having a shitty time.
Yeah, for usually...
And you can't eat cake or burgers.
And it's a
so
couple of
sad.
seconds of screen time with your shirt off.
Yeah.
I mean, come
How
on.
depressing.
He had a dad bod.
He did.
Daddies are big.
Yeah, yes, they are.
Daddies it's all happening. So, yeah. I can't imagine a daddy Gambit in New Orleans just eating a whole lot of gumbo.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what that and I was like, gumbo,
Searching my files of readily accessible stereotypes in my head and pulled out gumbo. Just like old Tom Thumb. Was it Tom Thumb? No. Tom Thumb was a little guy.
Yeah, are you thinking the blackbirds in the pie?
No, I'm thinking of the guy that put in his thumb and he pulled out a plum and he said, what a good boy am I.
I don't know.
Who was that guy?
Maybe
Bryan Singer should make a movie about that.
Yeah,
Seems how his Jack and the Beanstalk thing went so well.
I actually thought Jack and the Beanstalk was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, someone needed to.
Fuck you.
So that's you on Box Office Mojo that... we didn't see it at the cinema even.
No, we did not.
It's a different time. Now we see everything. So we saw Logan Lucky. We're going to be reviewing that. We'll be doing Game of Thrones, talking about some trailers, talking about some news, talking a little bit about Defenders, although I've only just sort of lifted up the edge of the lid and had a bit of a sniff inside. And the biggest news this week was probably this idea of an Obi Wan Kenobi solo movie.
Which has been getting talked about for quite some time, but it's starting to look a little bit more solid now.
I think if you hire a director, that's pretty solid. That's pretty official.
Didn't they do all that stuff for the Gambit movie, and then that's not happening?
Yeah, well, that's true, but this is Star Wars. This has momentum.
Weren't they doing a Boba Fett movie or something?
Yeah, but that was Josh Trank himself.
Yeah, but, who's to say? I mean, it's happened before.
Well, it's the Billy Elliot director. I think he can get himself out of a jam. I think it could be fine. What I think is interesting is they announced this news, but they don't. And true, they didn't say greenlit 100% happening, here's the release date. They said it was in development, so anything could happen. But I thought it was interesting that they let this news out without the confirmation of Ewan McGregor's interest. And we know that he said before that he'd be interested.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But do you think this is a power play on Disney's part? Like, for me, this feels like a pretty blatant power move where maybe because they must have talked to him about it. They're not going to announce it without talking. And he must be thinking, well, I got a pretty shitty deal on the prequels because he wasn't anybody really at that point. He hadn't done a huge amount.
Oh, it was post-Train Spotting and everything.
Yeah, but like,
Has he really done anything?
House, indie movie, he wouldn't have been commanding big money.
I mean, is he commanding big money now?
No, well, that's the thing. So I imagine they would like to get him on the sort of deals that your Oscar Isaacs and things have at the moment. But maybe there's part of him thinking, Harrison Ford got paid a shitload for Force Awakens. I want more. So if Disney goes, hey, we're going to do this movie, but doesn't announce him, that puts a lot of pressure. The ball is in his court. And then the fans, of course, we all want him to do it, are going to think he's a dickbag if he knocks it back because of money. So it puts him in the corner.
Well, I don't know. Like, if they don't cast him, if they go, look, we don't want to pay you what you think you're worth, and they don't cast him, the fans are going to go apeshit at Disney. So I don't think he's in that bad a position.
I don't know.
I don't think he's going to come out that badly either way.
History tends to, I don't know, like when people get replaced, you know, there might be some initial outrage, but people generally kind of roll with it.
I don't know. People seem very invested in giving him a second chance as Obi Wan.
Well,
And casting somebody else. I don't think that would go down well.
No, I don't think it would go down well either. I think it has to be Ewan, and I think it will be Ewan. But I think they're just
They'll work something out, I'm sure.
thrusting their dicks around at the moment. Sort of recreating the final battle against Obi Wan and Anakin in Mustafar.
I think if you're going to have a dicks out slap around battle, I think, you know, you're pitching pretty high by having one with Ewan McGregor.
Do you reckon?
He's got, look, he's not, he hasn't got anything to be embarrassed about. Let's say. And he likes getting his chop out.
Oh yeah, he's not afraid to whip it out.
Yeah.
So that's something. But I imagine some of these executives are pretty bold as well down at Disney. They might even get like Gaston or somebody to have the battle, you know, call on one of their big stars. So who knows? But they're saying a Western. I think I would be very surprised if it was set only on Tatooine. I think that would break the Star Wars winning formula. I mean, even Rogue One is about 3 or 4 significant planets. So I would think it would have to have a little bit more movement than that. And I like that idea. I don't accept that he was just a hermit for all that time. I accept that shit went bad and he had to go undercover. But I don't reckon he just roamed around the desert making animal noises.
Yeah, and he wouldn't have
people out.
He wouldn't have given up like 30 odd years of his life for like 20 years of his life just to look after a kid.
No, that he had no real contact with. Wandering around, going into like the cantina and going, "Ooh, I'm a crazy wizard. I'm that crazy wizard Ben. I cast a spell on you," and then running away again. So yeah. And I also think Yoda couldn't have just sat in the swamp for all that time either. So I still like the idea of the two of them having to do something, some Jedi business,
road trip.
Yeah, and like again, lone wolf and cub. He's pushing him around in a pram, or he has him on his back or something.
Yep.
And they have to do some shit that only Jedi can do. They have to protect.
But they have to do it covertly because Jedi are like under the radar at that point.
Exactly,
still.
Which is why Yoda develops that senile, I'm a wacky little creature personality, is because that's how they get to move around and not get spotted.
Maybe Yoda's speaking thing is like, I mean, I know he had it in the prequels and everything, but maybe it's like an adapted cloaking thing. You know how they used to say that Adam West's Batman, he would talk like so it wouldn't be like picked up by voice recognition. Maybe that's what Yoda does.
Oh, okay, that's some interesting
head canon, fan canon.
No, when you like sort of reinvent, change the retcon. That's
well, I mean, they've never given us an origin on Yoda's speech patterns. Who knows? Maybe it's something he came up with.
Belligerent. I think it's rude. I think it's rude when you obviously understand the language enough to be very fluent in it. He must. Everyone around him is speaking in accepted structure.
Did we ever hear Yaddle talk?
No, I don't think Yaddle was allowed to talk.
Okay.
I think Yaddle was just a mistake. I think that was a real problem. Because if you're having Yoda is the unknown species, and that's fine if there's one of you. But if there's another one sitting there, and they're like, what species are you? And Yoda's like, I don't know. And Yaddle's like, well, actually, yeah. And that's why Yaddle doesn't get to speak. Because Yaddle knows.
Oh, Yaddle's well, actually. Oh, no, Yaddle needs to go in the bin.
I think they probably did. I don't, Lucasfilm keeps really great archives of all their stuff because obviously there's a great deal of interest in anything Star Wars.
Yeah.
But Yaddle, I think, was binned. It's put out on The Verge the following Thursday. Bad idea. Plus, so transparent too. Like, I feel like obviously Yoda was a puppet in Episode 1. That's been changed now. If you go and buy Episode 1 now, it's been digitally replaced. But the whole idea was Yoda was younger and it was a younger looking puppet. And Yaddle has to be the prototype for an even younger looking Yoda with the brown hair. And they didn't go... And Lucas, I guess, pinching his pennies, old man Lucas, hey you there boy, buy me a goose, Scrooging out the window, goes, we're not wasting that thing. Put it in the council. It's Yoda's cousin Yaddle.
cousin from out of town.
Yeah, visiting in. So there you go. So there's that. Look forward to developments there. I imagine that this Ewan McGregor question.
Ewan McGregor.
I'm out there, Ewan McGregor all over the country on my motorbike. Hopefully that question will be answered very soon because I think the fans demand an answer.
Yes.
One way or the other, let's have that. And not a lot of Bumblebee news. I couldn't find any. I didn't actually look. I forgot. But we did...
What a shame.
We did hear Hailee Steinfeld's song in the car on the way back from the movie, and that was fantastic because I hadn't heard it.
Yes. It is a very popular pop song at the moment. It is on the radio.
Yeah.
Very, very often, and you managed to change the lyrics and ruin it forever for me.
I must have misheard them. I could have sworn it was called Moist Girls.
Yes, the Hailee Steinfeld song "Most Girls" is now "Moist Girls."
Yeah.
Yeah,
in your head canon.
Very upsetting. Actually, I saw the film clip the other day, and I was
Well, I know what I'm doing once it sounds away.
I was going to take a photo while I was watching it and send it to you, but I couldn't get a clear shot because there's lots of girls in it.
Okay.
Yes, such is the title of the song.
Well, I'm only interested in one of them, of course.
Yeah.
So I assume she's in it.
She is in it, yeah, in her school uniform.
All right, that's it. I got shit to do. All right, and we never promise on this show that we get everything 100% right. We don't have detailed notes. A lot of it is relying on our great memories. But sometimes we will be held accountable. And I think if one of us says something that could cause offence or is so wrong that it's kind of embarrassing, that we should do an apology or a retraction. Mm-hmm. And I believe that you owe an apology or retraction from something you said last week about the monkey in the movie Monkey Up. Mm-hmm. Now you said, and you shattered this guy's dreams when you said, oh, don't you know that it's probably like a whole lot of different monkeys and they all have different skills and they're all doing it. It's like all pieced together. Mm-hmm. And then like on our discussion page, it's pointed out that that's Crystal, the very famous monkey actor from Night at the Museum and all those sorts of things. Mm-hmm. And I think you besmirched and denigrated the work of this great monkey actor who was even playing a man monkey, had a very masculine voice, totally convincing, doing so much, and you're like, oh no, it's probably... You were kind of disrespecting the craft, so is there anything you'd like to...
I'm not apologising to a fucking monkey.
I think you should apologise to Crystal the monkey.
No, I'm not apologising to Crystal the monkey.
Well, can you admit that maybe it was all Crystal's work? Even the skateboard bit?
No, I won't acknowledge it was all Crystal's work. Because, like, the bulk of it may have been Crystal, but they can't. Like surely, ethically, the animal usage, they cannot use 100% one monkey.
Oh, any regular monkey, I would understand that. But this is a monkey that's clocked up a lot of hours and has been on the Actors Studio show and is very professional. Do
you know that, like, I think it might have been Peter or one of those, the weird animal activism groups, got very angry about the monkey from Pirates of the Caribbean because it was made to wear clothes and it got seasick out on the sea, and everyone thought that was quite cute and funny, but people were going, no, that's animal abuse to make, force the monkey to work when it's ill.
What's yellow and smells like bananas? Monkey sick. Yeah. Well, I think Crystal's a pro. I think it's fine. So
Okay. Well, look, I just...
we're going to agree to disagree.
Yeah, I don't feel like I have enough confirmation
All right.
to take a stand or apologise, so I'm not going to.
Talking about treatment of animals on set, you know that movie Dog's Purpose?
Oh, yeah.
And the dog in that?
Yeah.
Played by Crystal the monkey.
Oh, cool.
That is how good this monkey is.
Okay. Did she play all of the dogs?
Yes.
Yeah. There's lots of dogs.
Well, it was like Orphan Black.
Mm.
Yeah, like they can do a lot of trickery. This is the thing, I don't think you realise how advanced films have become. And I blame that because you like the Fast and the Furious movies. Seen too much Vin Diesel.
Yep.
Moderation with Vin. How do we were talking about this last night. How do they let him get away with that? How does this guy, Mark St. Clair, decide, oh, I'm going to call myself Vin Diesel, and everyone just accepts that?
The early 2000s were a very different time.
Like, if
There was a lot of shit that was accepted back in the early 2000s.
I can't imagine the grief I would get if I changed my name to Vin Diesel.
I feel like he's like one of those, you know, like he's come into Hollywood and like reinvented himself. Like I'm Vin Diesel, but all his friends back in his like little hometown are like, you are an idiot. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, you're Simon Shits his pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're Mark St. Streaky Pants. Anyway, so there was that. Look, let's look at trailers. Now, we talked about this Hayley Atwell, Christopher Robin, Ewan McGregor thing that's coming out. But apparently Christopher Robin, A.A. Milne, it's all in the zeitgeist very much at the moment because there is another Christopher Robin movie coming out only like next month.
Yeah, quite soon, I think, yeah.
And this one's called Goodbye, Christopher Robin.
Which is a bit ominous, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I don't get that because the trailer says, like, sort of ends with the word something like, you know, like he has the kid, oh, it's this baby, and then we're playing, we're writing the book, and the book's a big success, and then the lady voiceover's like, and then like a tap or faucet, because Americans won't understand what's going on, being turned on, happiness flowed everywhere. The end.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but it's Goodbye, Christopher Robin. Like, what happens to him?
Yeah, I actually, I did Google it because I was a bit concerned that perhaps the kid died, but he didn't. He doesn't die. So I'm still confused as to where the goodbye comes in.
He's like, fuck this Pooh Bear shit. I don't want any part of it. I'm going...
Is he just going down the shops and he says goodbye, Christopher Robin?
I'm going down the shops.
Yeah.
And this is Domhnall Gleeson.
Yes.
Is playing A.A. Milne, author of Winnie the Pooh. And it's just some kid is playing Christopher Robin.
Yeah, he actually looks, because there was pictures of A.A. Milne back in the oldie days, and yeah, they cast fairly well. He looks pretty much like him.
And his wife is Margot Robbie.
Yes, old Margot getting in there.
Holy shit. So it's not enough to write Winnie the Pooh.
You got to marry Margot Robbie.
He also that's like how Bob Kane created Batman and banged Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, it's like
overachieving much.
Like winning the lottery and coming home with like a bag of, you know, gold bars or something, and then dropping it and it like making a hole in the floor and oil spurting up out of the hole. Like, you're just fucking winning upon winning.
You're not wrong. It's like, you know, a lot of us would be happy just to have created Piglet. Yeah, I created Piglet. Look at him. Oh, he's just a little animal. He's scared of heffalumps and woozles and strong breezes. And then I get to crawl into bed with Margot Robbie at the end of the day and give him my Piglet. Piglet in a blanket.
Yeah, I think one of the most important things in the trailer, I think, is that you get to see them play poo sticks.
Yeah. Now, again, this needs some clarification probably for the American listeners, because we've talked about this before. In almost every American movie where there is a father and son in a relationship, they play catch. And that's a very American thing. They get the old baseball mitt out and they stand a couple of meters away from each other and laboriously throw the ball back and forth like Wiseau in the Room.
Yeah.
But in the UK, poo sticks, baby. Yeah. Fathers, sons are playing poo sticks out on the river. And, you know, I understand that someone might sort of get teary-eyed, get that Cats in the Cradle song, etc. in their head when they're watching the catch thing. And I mean, there's a lot of British people watching and thinking, well, I wish I had a little boy to play poo sticks with.
Yeah, I actually, again, when I was looking up to see if Christopher Robin died, I found that the poo sticks has its very own Wikipedia page. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. Let's have a read of that. And it turns out that the like the bridge that A.A. Milne would most commonly play poo sticks
Old
with his
Pooey Bridge.
became a bit of a a mecca for people to visit. And the bridge was getting worn down from all of these visitors. And so the local council basically got in touch with Disney and said, well, fuck you, you've done this. Give us some money so that we can restore the bridge. And so they did. They gave them like $30,000 or something
That's chump change for Disney.
to remake the bridge, yeah. And there's poo stick leagues.
Yeah.
Like there's actual competitive poo stick leagues.
I think it could end up in the Olympics. So you take 2 sticks, poo sticks.
Yep.
You can find them or make them yourself. And you drop them into the water and they go down the current under the bridge.
Yeah, and you run around to the other side of the bridge and you see whose poo stick comes out first.
Yeah, so whoever's poo comes out first is the winner.
Yeah, and there was like a section in the Wikipedia that was like, strategy and tactics, and then someone was just like, you just drop the stick.
Well, no, but even in the trailer, there seems to be some sort of rules. They had to hold it horizontal. They had to drop it from the same height because of science. So there's all that sort of stuff. It just made me realise Winnie the Pooh, which is a weird name. I mean...
I found out what that was too. Winnie was named after the... Remember how you told me a couple of weeks ago there was that Michael Fassbender movie like Winnie the Bear, and it was about the bear that was a mascot of some... army troop.
Yes.
It's named Winnie for that.
Yeah.
For that bear. And the poo part, there was like a swan at the zoo that was called Pooh or something. And so it was called Winnie the Pooh. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but this is a little kid naming its teddy bear, so like, we're not going to question it.
Like Winnie the Shit or Winnie the Turd, but we don't question it.
No.
And he's pulling a Vin Diesel.
Yes.
It's Vin Diesel again. You
Yeah.
give yourself like a ridiculous name. We're all a bunch of brainwashed sheep. We don't question it. We just go,
Just accept it.
I want to live in a world where there's a Winnie the Pooh and there's a Vin Diesel. And that's fine. I just
think
accept
an action movie star called Vin Diesel just works. I think it works.
I think you've been... They're getting in your head.
Oh, did I drink the Vin Diesel Kool-Aid?
Is it the red pill or the blue pill?
I don't know.
It's one of those.
The Vin pill.
You wake up in a vat of goo going, that makes no fucking sense! What's like Winnie the Shit? And then you get crushed by a giant machine, tentacle machine. We didn't have it on our notes, I just added it. What about the trailer? We saw the trailer today for Geostorm.
Oh yeah, I think I put that on our list for this year because I was just like, well, fuck it, why not?
I can give you about 25 reasons why not after seeing that trailer.
No, I actually thought that was the trailer for like the next. He's doing another like
Something Has Fallen.
Yeah, he's doing another Has Fallen movie.
We haven't mentioned who this person is, this mystery person.
It's Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's in a
in
movie
this film.
called Geostorm,
Yes.
produced by, was it like Emmerich and...
I don't know, someone related to Independence
tomorrow,
Day.
Yeah, tomorrow
Day
when
After Tomorrow?
everything was bad and there was hurricanes, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a space station that controls the weather, but now it's controlling the weather too much and it's making a big storm all over the Earth and disaster.
And it looks like it was tampered with.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to it was supposed to stop natural disasters, but instead it
Making
accidentally
lots of them.
caused one, and now it looks like maybe, and the president is involved, and Gerard Butler, he's got to roll up his sleeves and sort this
And go into
shit
space.
out. And it's weird because I think if there was a sort of barometer that was sliding between giant blockbuster and sci-fi channel movie, I feel like it might be dipping a little bit towards the latter.
Yeah, I actually thought with a name like Geostorm, initially when I first read that, I thought, oh, maybe this has to be a TV movie. This has to be a straight to video thing. So I was surprised that it was coming up the movies, but...
And it has big ambitions, like you're seeing frozen planes falling out of the sky and crashing in cities and stuff, but it all just looks a little bit janky to me, and I'm not usually someone that would say that.
Yeah, there's not a lot in that trailer that suggests this is going to be a particularly clever movie in any regards, but I don't know, like,
It looks entertaining.
It looks dumb for
'Cause it
dumb's
looks
sake,
awful.
and I think if they're really in on the joke themselves, and that is
I
something.
don't think they. It looks earnest.
No, that's something that I really love about the Has Fallen movies. Like, I fucking love those because they just go balls to the wall, and like they act really serious about it. But just some of the shit they do is so funny.
The music in the trailer is even just really bizarre. It's so tonally all over the place. I recommend people watch it, especially because the beginning, like, Gerard walks into this room in a suit and sits down and they're like, you're late. And he's like, well, I did come from space.
Yeah.
And you're like, shit, son!
Yeah, that's the line that kind of made me go,
Hook me up.
Yeah.
Give me an IV of this shit. This is crazy. So, that looks nuts. Geostorm, best movie of the year. Can't wait. Bumblebees are the best movie of next year, so may as well lap up some Geostorm this year. Now, shall we switch and talk about a movie that we did actually see?
Sure.
Not one that we just saw unconnected snippets of. Logan Lucky. This, tricky to describe, so you can do it. Steven Soderbergh is the director, and it's a bit of a caper.
It is a bit of a caper. He was the director of the first two Oceans 11 and 12. Also the director of the first Magic Mike movie. So, yes, much like Magic Mike, this also does feature Channing Tatum with the aforementioned dad bod. Also has Adam Driver.
Playing his brother.
Yes. Daniel Craig in a...
Introducing newcomer Daniel Craig in the role of Joe Bang.
Yeah, and a couple of other people as well, but they're the main three, and there's some sort of down on their luck lads who want to rob a NASCAR speedway thing and get some money.
Desperate for cash.
Yeah.
Has to be a caper. So all the machinations go in place, and it's called Logan Lucky because the Logan family
Are traditionally not very lucky.
unlucky. So it's kind of ironic. You know, are you lucky? Well, yeah, well, we're Logan Lucky. That means we're not lucky at all. That means, like, we're down on our luck, and we have to maybe pull off a caper. And there's a great, it's quite a long movie, and there's a great scene where he gets the inspiration for the caper by watching all of the Great Muppet Caper, and we watch that whole film in real time. Sort of mystery science theatre style with Channing Tatum and Adam Driver's heads down the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, you could clearly tell which was which. Adam Driver has quite voluminous hair.
Yes. And quite a profile too.
He does.
Like when Gonzo came on, he was like, I can relate.
This is my guy.
I can relate, bud. That's my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This has been getting really, really good reviews, and for the most part, I did really like it.
It is good. It's a really well-made movie. It's good. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's worth a watch.
The performances are fantastic. Like, I loved just Adam Driver straight off the bat, and Daniel Craig goes without saying that he is having an absolute ball in this film. He is getting to do a lot of stuff that he has not done before.
Worth watching just for Daniel Craig's
absolutely
completely balls out, off the wall performance. He's having a blast.
Yeah.
I
felt like the story did get a little bit, it kind of lost its focus a little bit right towards the end, but like not in a super bad way that I would kind of condemn the rest of the movie for the pace of the ending. But it sort of felt like it wasn't sure where it was going after a certain point in the film. Yeah,
because once you sort of have a bit of a resolution either way to a caper, you're kind of ready to get up and go. But it does continue on for a while after there and introduce a new character played by somebody who's quite accomplished in their own right. And I feel like they wanted to get some mileage out of that person as well. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I don't think it had the sort of sustained manic kind of craziness that maybe I was expecting from the trailer. Certainly Craig delivered on his promise, but it's probably a little more grounded, and he does take his time to really establish characters and motivation, and that's what makes it a really great, solid movie. And it's well written, the dialogue's great, but it's not a massively funny movie. I think maybe I expected something that was a bit more sort of Baby Driver-y kind of momentum-y.
I was expecting something a bit zippery. Yeah, like an Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
But with hillbillies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But very enjoyable. I really liked it.
Would definitely recommend.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to, I understand that children are all God's miracles and stuff, and I don't want to be too harsh, but that little girl...
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't put my finger on it. It was like...
She looked like a doll come to life, like an evil doll.
I thought she looked old. I thought, she looked like a tiny Blanche from the Golden Girls.
You went off to the toilet during the bit where she sings at her pageant.
I know,
and you were fortunate.
Oh, good.
Let me just say.
Because, that's the problem. I couldn't hold out. I thought I could. I had a big drinking night last night recording Dodgers and Drogos, subtle plug. And when you, get up and then I realised, it's the talent show. And I was like, I really should watch the talent show. But then I'm standing. You got to walk. You got to keep going. You're like, I'll be back. But I caught the very end of it. But, yeah. It was good. And it was either this or Wind River, right? But Wind River's just not showing at a time.
Yeah, Wind River is just not working out for us, so I think we're going to have to maybe admit defeat for the time being on Wind River, which is unfortunate. I keep getting all these ads going, Wind River's the best movie of the year, and I'm like, fuck up, Facebook ads.
We'll catch it as soon as we are able to, I suppose. But we're not doing that. I think we had a lot of bravado about a double last week, but...
I'm glad that we didn't commit to that.
Well, that was episode 177. That was such a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
So, things change, circumstance. Look, life gets in the way.
It does.
Yeah.
It gets in the way. Life finds a way. Life does lots of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In America, it's a cereal.
Life?
Yeah.
There's a cereal called Life?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty
You have a big bowl of Life for breakfast.
Pretty intense, isn't it? They are very intense over there. Have you heard about this... Donald Trump character. Anyway, so TV-wise, with no other films, anything you wanted to talk about?
No, I've been watching TV during the week.
Yeah.
I started to rewatch True Blood, and I don't think I can make it through season 1 because True Blood, spoiler alert, everybody, is quite bad.
I've only seen about the first 5. The only thing I remember is Vinny from Home and Away getting the vampire erection thing.
Yeah, that's really early on. I think I watched it up to maybe season 4 or 5 or something when it was first on, and I'm watching all this stuff going, oh my god, I can't believe all of this happened in season 1. I thought so much of it was later stuff.
That whole episode is just him with a really big stiff that's threatening to split like a sausage on a barbecue.
And he has to get a massive needle in his dick to drain all the blood out.
Yeah,
it's so weird. It's so funny thinking back to when that was premium TV. That was the show that everybody watched and everybody was invested in, and now it's just
finally television for adults.
Yeah, because it was it was tittillating and weird and all of that sort of thing, and now it's everything's got tits on it. And everything's, TV's so much more developed in the last 10 years. And to go back and watch True Blood, it's just holy shit, we have come a very long way, folks.
Imagine going back and watching Buffy or something.
Oh, I think many years ago we started an Angel rewatch of the Angel TV series. Yeah, I don't think we got past season 1.
Yeah. It's an Angel. Come on. Yeah.
Well, I liked Angel.
So on TV now, the new hotness is the Defenders.
Yeah.
Because there was Daredevil. That was a thing. And people like that. Jessica Jones. Oh, hello. Yep, let's keep going. Luke Cage. Oh, there's more. Iron Fist. The balloon deflated a little bit. Everyone got a bit upset about that one.
So I sat down to watch Defenders, very excited. Who is the first Defender that we are going to see? This is so exciting.
You think this is going to be huge. They're going to hit the ground running. They're going to show us something that just hooks us instantly.
Oh, it's Iron Fist.
Oh, no, it's Iron Fist.
Oh.
Fucking around in the sewer.
Oh.
Which is where he belongs, in my opinion, Iron Fist.
My favourite thing about Iron Fist is like where he yells, "You've been fisted" every time he punches somebody.
like
That's
that
my
as well.
favourite. Yeah,
Fist this crime. Remember when he said that?
that was cool.
Yeah.
That was my other favourite. Yeah,
I'm kind of getting sick of the hand.
yeah.
It's all about the hand, right? We gotta get the hand. We gotta find the hand. These are bad ninja people.
Yeah, it's
Gotta
like if
stop these bad ninja people.
all of these people have been like looking for the hand over the last 5 years or whatever. They're not doing a really good job.
They're not.
No.
Right under your bloody noses.
Yeah.
Guys. And you're getting fighting and slashing each other up. Yeah, so I've got to say, normally in these situations, I just binge and watch stuff and can have a pretty good knowledge of it when we come to the podcast. But I've only watched about the first 40 minutes of the first episode, and nothing happened so far.
Yeah, not much in that first episode. I think I've watched 3 or 4. I'm not actually sure because I was playing games on my phone for most of it, which gives you a good indication of how good the defenders were. But I didn't mind it. I think it was episode 3 or 4 where they finally had their big kind of hallway fight, which is the trademark of the Marvel TV shows, and that was pretty fun. And seeing their storylines start to intertwine and then them coming together, sort of like, oh, okay, I'm a bit more into it now. But that first episode where they're all separately doing their own separate things is just like, ugh.
I was glad, to see some of those characters that we haven't seen for a while, like Rachel Taylor as Patsy Walker. I really want her to become Hellcat at some point.
Yeah, I was like forgetting who was who and where they were left, and because I never finished Luke Cage, so when Rosario Dawson kind of comes back in, I'm like, hang on,
he came back in, Rosario Dawson.
Yes, he did. And yeah, Rachel Taylor, I couldn't remember if she was like Jessica Jones's friend, or was she like the girl from Iron Fist, or because I never finished Iron Fist either.
So you're on the back foot here.
Yeah,
you don't know your fists from your cages.
No, that's right. But I did. I did finish Jessica Jones and Daredevil because they're the better ones.
They're the characters we care about.
And I
like Luke Cage. I enjoyed him.
I had very much missed Jessica Jones.
Yeah, she's cool.
I love her.
Me too.
There's a bit, I don't know which episode it's in. I think it was in one of the trailers as well, where she goes to walk in an elevator and the door closes on her and she's just like, oh, fuck her. And I'm like, yes. This is my character. This is mine.
So I guess an update on that at some point. I'm kind of stalling, Jacinta, because all we've got left is Fuck Yeah Game of Thrones. We're down here in the other studio little setup, which is the dining room table, where Jacinta can't see how long this episode is. We've done 39 minutes.
Oh, right.
Yeah, for our big 200th.
Yeah, that doesn't feel very appropriate, does it?
For a big 200th.
No.
It should be 200 minutes.
Oh, God.
Really?
I don't think anybody wants that.
Do we talk about
least of all us?
Poo sticks and more?
I think I've exhausted all my Poo Sticks Wikipedia knowledge.
You've okay. All right. Well, look, guys, we can't force out news that's not there. So let's talk about Game of Thrones. Fuck yeah, Game of Thrones. There will be spoilers for the, the 4th episode? The 5th episode? 5th episode of Game of Thrones. We're going to talk about that. I want to thank everybody for listening and really supporting Fruitless Pursuits as a whole, because we're back in that weird phase where there's 3 podcasts a week again, which is every second week. But we do have 3 active shows. So, of course, there's this on every second Thursday. There is Half Hour History. The last one was about Queen Mary of Tech and her dickhead family. And Dungeons and Drongos is out now. It's on iTunes. It's the Australian Dungeons and Dragons thing. And so excited about how well everybody has responded to that. We've actually recorded 5 episodes so far. So we've got a good backlog of that. So that'll definitely be weekly going forward. And please continue with all the shows. If you're enjoying them, spread the word, rate and review. This is a good time for us, and I appreciate that. So go to fruitlesspursuits.com to find out everything we're doing, links to all those shows, links to our Patreon, links to our very friendly Facebook discussion group where you can feedback on all of this stuff and post news for FPcast so we don't do 40-minute episodes again. Because, nothing's happening. Though I am really looking forward to Force Friday, September 1st, when all the Last Jedi shit comes out.
Is that Is that a Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's Force Friday.
It's Force Friday. Yeah. Not just a clever name.
That's, yeah.
And I'm going to be porging it up. If I see an interactive porg, this is one of those things. This is the great thing about Force Friday is, you know, if this stuff just sort of came out slowly and I saw an interactive porg on the shelves, I probably wouldn't need it or buy it. But if it's going to be Force Friday...
Have you met you? Like, I feel like you probably would.
I didn't buy that Chewbacca Furby
But
even
you
when it got
wanted
really
to,
cheap.
though.
It got really cheap too, and I didn't do it.
Well, that's about the only episode of restraint that I've seen you manage.
I have committed to the porg life, though, to be fair. I have resolved to porg it up this December. Or this September.
And you've also committed to selling all your porgs in 18 months' time at a toy fair.
I don't know.
For a third of the price.
I've kept a lot of my Ewoks.
Yeah.
I do like my Ewoks.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so who knows? Porg life. Alright, so Game of Thrones spoilers begin now. So I guess after emptying out the HBO coffers the week before with all that dragon tomfoolery, we got back into sort of walking around chatting territory again.
Yeah, and I think speaking of corrections, as we did earlier, I think you said last week that you were pretty sure that it wasn't Drogon that Daenerys was riding. It was Drogon.
It was Drogon. And I thought it had died as well, but he seemed to shake it off.
No, he was just shot in the shoulder. He's fine. He's a dragon.
I know that but it was like, oh, this is the big ballista thing, and this is our secret weapon, and we're gonna.
I think they established that it was like if they shot it in the face, then yeah, but he didn't shoot it in the face. He was no good.
So yeah, it was a piece of shit, that thing.
Yeah, he was a piece of shit. And Jamie seemed to swim. Bronn seemed to swim quite a far way with Jamie under the water.
Yeah, when they surfaced, I was like, aren't you scared about the dragon? Like, isn't this a second later?
Yeah, no.
How long had they held their breath?
About 40 minutes, I think.
They must have done the Robin Hood reed trick.
Oh, maybe.
Reed snorkels.
Yeah. Though Jamie was spewing up a lot of water, so I feel like Jamie was under the water for a long time.
Maybe he's
very strange.
Part fish.
Oh, he could be.
Maybe, sorry if I spoil Winter, and it turns out that Jamie is part fish.
Yeah. But, you know, everyone else is so excited about these dragons, and you know what? You can all keep your dragons, because this episode was my favourite thus far.
Okay, well, let's talk about this, because you and I had a bit of a chat on Messenger about who are we really rooting for anymore. Because I think when the first season started, you felt like you were rooting for the Starks. It was all Starks all the time.
Yeah.
And I really feel now that the Starks are a bit shit.
Yes.
Or
a bit unfocused, or a bit...
creepy?
A bit creepy, or thinking that they are in control in situations where maybe they are not.
They're a bunch of weirdos.
They are a bunch of weirdos.
So... the thing that I can't get over in that episode, the thing that after it finished I was just obsessed with, is the little rowboat that could. Mm-hmm. Now, let's look at Davos.
Yes.
The sexy badger of the series. Now, Davos travels a lot in this particular episode. So, in this particular episode, he starts at Dragonstone. He travels to King's Landing. He travels from King's Landing back to Dragonstone, and then he travels from Dragonstone to the Wall. Now, I'm basing a lot of my geography off a Game of Thrones jigsaw puzzle that we had at work, but I did look at the distances. He travels approximately like 2,500 miles.
Yeah, because King's Landing and Dragonstone aren't like that far, but I mean, if you're in a rowboat, like, that's pretty far.
Littlest rowboat,
yeah. But if you're going to the Wall, like, the Wall is really far away. Like, it's taken Arya's, 6 seasons to get from, did she go to the Wall? No, Arya didn't go to the Wall, did she? She was just at Winterfell and then came down south. It's taken her 6 seasons to get from Winterfell. So, I don't know, man.
Yeah, so Davos's speed per episode is about 2,500 miles. The White Walker's speed is about 5 meters an episode.
Yes.
So I can see a Quicksilver situation where, and obviously the Quicksilver, he doesn't have white hair, but he has white flecks all through his beard.
Yeah, and I mean, we're talking Quicksilver in the X-Men movies, not Quicksilver in the Avengers movies.
Yeah. But everything, for him, everything will look like it's frozen in time. And he will just weave around, pushing dragon glass up their bums and destroying them. So when we were saying, well, who do you go for now? Who's the star of this series? Who's the person that can get this done? Who do we want to see win? It
has to be Davos.
It's Davos. He is the breakout now. And very clever, because I never would have seen that coming. A lot of people have been focused on Daenerys or Jon. Davos, sexy badger in his little rowboat, with pumped up arms. And now he's got Gendry with him as well, with his hammer time. Hello.
I mean, we know that Gendry is pretty good in a rowboat, so it's just like, this is dream team.
They're just skipping across the water. Absolutely incredible.
And they, all that rowboating did seem to make Gendry very skinny.
Yeah.
He's just been rowboating for years, and it just the fat just fell off him.
It's like the anti-hot pie.
Absolutely, yeah.
Two sides of the same coin.
Yes. But yeah, the reason this really was my favourite episode is because I've sort of embraced, like, the first few episodes, I was like, no, it's like, it's different now. It's like a different show, and I don't like it. But now I've sort of embraced the sort of silliness, the silliness that the show has sort of decided to hang its hat on. And I was thrilled, obviously, with the reintroduction of my buddy J-Dog. Jorah's back.
Jorah is back.
Yes.
Looking older than ever.
Yeah, he does. And I love that the Dothraki were like, this guy says he's your friend, and Daenerys is like, yes, he is my friend. And poor Jorah's heart broke in front of everybody. And so Jorah's back, which is fantastic. The show seems to be trying to set up the shittiest love triangle in history with Daenerys, Jon, and Jorah. The shot where Daenerys and Jorah were saying goodbye, and then you see Jon come in the background, made me laugh out loud with glee.
I don't think it's much of a competition.
I don't know. I did see there was some comment on the internet that said that Jorah had no chance because he wasn't related enough to her.
Jorah's going to self-sacrifice.
Absolutely. But then, when they all went off at the end in their little sad man boy band, I was like, fuck, is this episode just written for me? Like, all these middle-aged, angry men being led by Jon Snow to their fucking icy deaths. I'm just like, oh wow, I'm so much more invested in this show than I was a couple of episodes ago. I love this.
The pacing is really different. Like, when you have Tyrion at Dragonstone going, I'm going to go and talk to Jaime, normally that'd be like, well, that's you for the next 2 seasons. Yeah. That's your journey. And then, like, a scene later, he just walks in and he's like, hey, bro. Yeah. And I'm like, what? Like, how did that happen? And, I noticed that this has always been happening, but I don't think we've mentioned it, that you've got that, you know, like in A New Hope, there are characters that call Leia, the Americans, and then Peter Cushing calls her Leia.
Leia, yeah.
And you get Han and Han as well throughout the thing, and it's like no one gives a shit. I noticed Sansa always calls Arya Arya, which, could they have a conversation about that?
Maybe that's just Sansa, like, kind of like negging or something. Just like deliberately mispronouncing her name.
And fucking Littlefinger, up to no good. Showing as well. It's like, if I'm going to watch Arya train and learn how to be a shadowy stealth assassin and do all this stuff for like 3 seasons.
Well, she never finished her training, which is evidenced by the fact that she's shit at it.
She fucked it up. He was following her from the front. Yes. And that's pretty skillful. Which
I love. I was so thrilled that Littlefinger is all over that.
Yes.
Just all over it. Though I think it's really silly on Arya's part, because if you're going to go into anybody's bedroom and stick your fingers in through a hole in their mattress, like, Littlefinger's the last guy that you want to be sticking your fingers in holes, because he's a dirty man.
You'd want to be up to date with your vaccinations, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And she got the note. It flashed up really quickly. If people didn't see what that said, it said, haha, you're shit at this, Arya. Watching you from the cupboard, pants are off.
Yeah, it's the It was the note from like season 1 that Sansa was coerced into writing by Cersei, I think, which basically
Said that Ned was a traitor.
yeah, sort of puts her support with the Lannisters and was telling Rob to come and
Bend the knee.
bend the knee, basically.
Come and bend the knee, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the key word, of course, is coerced.
Hmm.
So I guess there's going to be some sister rivalry and angst and problems because
which is what Littlefinger wants. He wants
because
to
they're
split them apart.
shit at explaining basic things to each other.
Yeah.
Oh, I was coerced. Or I would have been like raped and killed and raped again.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't seem like I don't know, even Arya just reading it there, it doesn't seem like that big a deal because obviously a lot of time has passed and a lot of other shit has gone down. So even if Sansa thought that like, 5-6 years ago, there's no reason to be angry at her now necessarily.
Communication is key. But Littlefinger knows these sisters, my God, they'll have a tiff. So he'll get to have a watch from in the hole in his cupboard and he'll have a great time.
Yeah, he's thrilled. I did like the bit where John gave the dragon a boop on the snoot.
You give it a bit of a boop on the snoot, didn't you?
And so obviously that's indicating that perhaps John has a little bit of the fire blood in him. But my favourite bit of that scene
I thought he looked like he would boop again.
I think he would boop again. And I love that the dragon more or less turns to the camera and fucking winks.
Yeah.
In that scene. It's not a very subtle kind of hint there.
Well, same with Gilly's. That was the episode with Gilly's exposition about...
Oh, yeah.
Where she's like, hey, it was a null. John is the true heir. and he's like, shut up, Gilly, you dickhead. I'm talking about the man who is oppressing me.
So, yeah, I was a little bit confused at that in the moment. Like, I knew it was to do with John and his parents and stuff, but a workmate who'd read the books... Because I'd forgotten that Rhaegar was married to the Martell, Oberyn's sister, the one that was killed and raped and all of that. That was his first wife, and so he annulled the marriage with the Martell and then presumably married Lyanna, which means that John was a legitimate child and not a bastard.
Not a Snow, after all. He just acts like a bastard. He's more of a prick. He's a twat, let's be honest.
He's a twat,
Yeah. And speaking of twats, Cersei's is bringing in visitors.
Yeah, you thought that would have been a dusty old cobwebby chamber, but apparently it's open for business.
Got a baby in there.
Yeah. Or does she?
Do you reckon it's one of those, like, the room situations?
Yeah, I don't know.
I did it to make things interesting.
But, yeah, maybe, like, whether she's trying to, like, lock Jaime back in. Like, whether she felt like Jaime's sort of starting to think for himself and wandering allegiances, that she just felt that she needed to give him a bit more, reason to stay on her side.
So it might just be a royal cushion in there.
Yeah.
I'd like to see her... Is it an obstetrician? Come in and be hot pie. Like, who has more experience with buns in ovens?
Yeah.
You take a look in there.
Yeah.
Let see what it is. Little cinnamon roll in there. So, yeah, now that is... I don't know why. Like, there's the prophecy. Wasn't the prophecy pretty broad in all your children will die?
Well, was that she would have 3 children. I think it specified she would have 3 children and they would die.
Okay.
So, unless it's, it's leaving that open that the 4th one won't.
Or that she won't have a 4th one.
Or that she just won't have a 4th one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a mystery. It's probably just do you reckon it's just spin-off setup?
Oh, what, the baby Lannister?
Yeah, like, and then we go 30 years in the future and it's baby Lannister, who's now an adult, trying to get back the Iron Throne.
Yeah, so they'll have to send the child off they'll have to Skywalker the kid to save it, yeah.
Send it off to live with the Stone Men or something. And he'll, like, be really tough like stone. Something.
In his heart.
Stone heart. Because they never... Yeah, all right. Fuck.
That's
me.
what that actually. I had workmates were talking about that. They're like, "What if?" And I was like, "What if they go north of the wall and they find fucking Stoneheart?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't even know.
Crikey.
I don't even know how that would necessarily work. That she would be up there, but you know,
It's a long river.
they will. They'll make some. I'm sure they'll make some stuff up. They can draw lines between anything they want to at the moment.
But look, it's all make-believe.
Yeah.
It's all a bit of silliness, all a bit of fun. Let's not take it too seriously. That's why I call it Game of Boners and laugh all the time. All right, I think that's it.
Yeah,
That's our show.
You didn't. Obviously, the episode got leaked during the week. You haven't partaken.
No. Gonna wait. And also, I didn't want to conflate two episodes while we were talking about it.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing.
It's like, I can wait. Let's do this properly.
Yeah, I'd seen some people warning that people were being shitheads and putting clips up on YouTube with very, very spoilery titles, and they were like coming up in people's, suggested watches and stuff like that. So I'm just like, oh god, that's gross. Avoid YouTube for the week.
I'm spoiler free, and I'll be watching it as I always do on actually I've got a quiz night on Monday, so maybe I'll be watching it Tuesday. Maybe I'll be waiting a little bit longer for my Thrones dose.
Maybe.
All right, thanks everybody for listening. That was a bit of fun. I don't need to say that. I said it before. Fuck yes, we're out.
Yeah. Camelot.